Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. This is episode number 398 of the Immigration Answer Show. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you had a great Friday night, a great end of your week. We are doing great here and happy to be here with you. I will be here for the next hour answering as many of your immigration law related questions as I can. It's a one-man show today. Huli is obviously off. The office is closed on Saturdays. I am going to be out of town on the back end of next week, so I thought I'd do some extra shows. Might do one tomorrow, but probably not. So 399 will be on Monday, and then our 400th show will be Tuesday. That'll give the team enough time. It'll probably just be me, though, because Amani will be out of town, even though people wanted Amani to come on the show. We will have her on soon. Tony is right. Here we go. We are on the road to 400, so excited about that. We are getting pretty close to the 400th episode. I find that hard to believe that we've hit 400, given the fact that I've been doing a podcast for 7 years, and that one is all done. So, or is under 400. So it's hard to believe how many of these episodes we've done, and it's exciting to know that we have been together for these many hour-long episodes. So let me figure out how to turn off that banner. There we go. And how can you not start when you have all this great Star Wars stuff behind you? How can you not start with someone named R2D2? So our little droid friend is here. Hello, little droid friend, R2D2. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Can you hear me?
I got you.
Okay. I'm so tempted to make R2D2 sounds, but I won't because I know it's embarrassing.
If you can't, can you do it? Can you make the noise?
No, not even gonna try.
I can't either. I don't have an R2D2 action figure, but I used to. So anyway, how you doing?
I have plenty. I have a huge Funko Pop collection, but yeah.
I was excited because we're remodeling our basement, and so back in 1977, Santa brought me a Death Star. It's a 3-story Death Star.
Oh,
And
wow.
on the first floor was the trash compactor.
3-story.
Yeah, 3-story. And then at the top was this big gun that was the gun that they would use to shoot. And so you could take the elevator up and down, which is really fun. But what I found yesterday was the old trash compactor. So I'm going to bring that in and put it over there.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
Okay, but anyway, thank you so much for doing this for all of us, and
Sure.
congratulations on the show. So, I want to start with about my story. I wrote it down, so I'm gonna be reading it.
Okay.
So. I came to this country on an F1 visa. I've been here since 2016. I worked at my school for a semester and I did my OPT in 2019. But I had to go back to school to finish the degree because I missed a class. So I graduated in 2020. Then, of course, COVID happened and I couldn't leave. So I transferred to another school to maintain my status. And I recently got married to a U.S. citizen, but I got married 12 days before my I-20 expired. And also, we've been together for almost 5 years now, living together for 3. But it took us this long to get married because his divorce took forever to get finalized. So he started the process in 2021 and it got finalized. Guess when? May the 4th. May the 4th of 2023.
Nice.
We actually planned our wedding to be that day, but it didn't work out. But, anyway, they didn't have kids or property together. It's just that his ex wasn't very cooperative, and his ex was also an international student, and she got her 10-year green card before they separated, but they were officially living in different addresses in June of 2017. So one more thing, my parents are also here on a green card, but it's through my mom's sister, which arrived after 23 years. So they came here in 2019, and then my mom filed an I-130 for me the same year. So, but I know that I don't qualify for that anymore since I get married. So my question is, do you have any advice? Like, how bad is my situation? Like, I'm pretty sure that we're probably gonna get an interview with this, but we haven't filed anything yet because we're still waiting for our marriage certificate. So yeah,
When did you get married?
June 8th. of this
Why
year.
why is the marriage certificate taking so long? That's unusual.
Because I'm in LA.
Oh,
They tell me like it's at least six weeks
6
after.
weeks.
So we're on our fifth week right now. Oh
You're
yeah.
you're ready to file?
Um, I still want to uh get more evidence and stuff, but I think I am like I know what I need, but I just have like a few questions like
So
because
your
of the
spouse is a US
situation.
your spouse is a US citizen?
Yes, but he was actually adopted, but we have all of his documents for like naturalization and stuff.
In his prior marriage, did he give any kind of immigration benefit to that spouse?
Yes. Yes.
So, okay, so let's talk about that part. That does
Hmm.
that person have a green card?
Yes.
And what were the rough years of their marriage from when to when?
I think it was like towards the end of 2016 to 2017. When she got her green card, they weren't. I think it was after the interview. That's when they started like not having a good relationship. Like I think she wasn't even in the country when she got the green card. But yeah,
Okay.
they weren't doing well already.
Okay, so as far as your history and being I mean, you're out of status right now, right? Your
Mm-hmm,
I-20 is over.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not worried about that so much. That's all forgiven as long as you answer the questions correctly. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
violated the terms of my visa.
Yes.
Yes. I they might have some questions about that OPT thing and then going back to school. That
Mm-hmm.
not the school you transfer to, but going back for that
Yeah.
last thing.
Because
But
I got a bad advice from my counselor because I have a degree in my home country, and then she said that I could transfer some classes, but apparently English 101 you can't transfer that, like you really have to take it, so I had to go back for that. So
that's
yeah.
funny. So you did your English class at the end of school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, that stuff's all fine. I mean, the big issue is we have a U.S. citizen who has now sponsored two different people. Is the
Mhm.
wife number one a citizen yet? Do you know?
We have no idea because like it's so difficult to communicate with her. Like they actually tried doing this in 2019. Like they both went to court to see their options for the divorce, and then we haven't heard from her till November of that year, and then after that she disappeared again. It's like I don't know. Cause she keeps going back and forth from here into her home country too, so we have no idea what's going on with her.
Okay, well, I'm not so worried about that. So, I think you probably will get an interview just because they probably want to talk to your husband and say, "Hey,
Hmm.
what's up with you?" And then the other question I would have, and feel free to go in as much or as little detail as you want. How far along were they in the divorce process when you and he first met? Because that's always an issue that they like to ask about, even though I think technically it's irrelevant.
They weren't really talking about it at the time because what's funny is that so they they separated in June of 2017, right? But we met online end of July the same year, and then we met in person first week of August the same year, and then we
So,
just started dating.
so they were already having major problems before.
Yes.
Okay, and are
Yeah.
you and your husband from the same background country?
No,
Okay, okay.
we're
Um,
both Asians though. But
I'm cool with I'm cool with your case. I'm not too worried about it. Other than to say, get that thing on file as fast as possible. Also, you should do your medical and send that in too.
yeah.
That'll also
Oh,
decrease the
include it.
chance of
Yeah.
your interview. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, and I also have another question. So, I also have a valid tourist visa, and then should I include that in my I-485? And then also, do I need, because like since I've been here for so long, and then I worked in 2019 when I was trying to file my taxes, it said I'm like resident for tax purposes. So I did file in. I've been filing, but I am doing some unauthorized work. That one I'm not filing. I was only filing the authorized work. Do I need to include that in the
Well,
I-485?
not your tax stuff, but yeah, you need to list every job, including unauthorized work, because any unauthorized work is forgiven because you're married to a U.S. citizen.
Even
And
though I'm still working currently, is that okay?
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's okay. I mean, you're not supposed to work without authorization.
Yeah.
Full stop. Um,
Yeah.
the employer could technically get in trouble. Have I ever heard of them tracking down an employer for the disclosed work of a spouse of a U.S. citizen. I have not ever heard of that happening.
Okay, thank you so much. And then like it's funny because like I kind of hooked him up to a job too. Like we were co-workers for about like I don't know, like 6 8 months. Does that like affect our case or not a big deal?
No.
And
Is he gonna
then
need? Is he gonna need a co-sponsor?
yes, that's what I was gonna say next.
Okay.
Like, so we're hoping that his dad would help us, but he's been retired for 20 years. So, but he does have a house. So would that be enough? Just the
No,
title of the
you need
house?
someone. You need someone with income. No, you don't want to mess around with
Oh,
trying to do property stuff.
okay. So rather, even though he gets like bonds and stuff like that.
So the whole question is line 21 from his tax return, his adjusted gross income. Is that enough? If not, find somebody else.
Okay, okay. I'll keep that in mind. And then I think that's it. I'm checking my notes. Sorry.
You're good.
So, I am from Friday. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Actually, one more thing. So it's about CSPA, about my brother, because, well, I haven't done the math. I'm not sure if he's gonna be qualified, but just in case he did, because I we didn't know about CSPA when their visa became available back in 2017. Is it possible to appeal it if ever he did qualify?
Well, what happened? What's there to appeal? Like what's the status of things?
Because the visa became like they got the notification a month before his 21st birthday, and
Yeah,
then they sent when they sent them the notification, he was included, like he had something. I forgot which one. It's probably the I-130, but then when they did the processing for the interview and stuff, they didn't include him anymore. And then later
they
on I
who
found out
they who your
the
parents or they?
NVC.
Yeah, yeah. They make that
Then
mistake. They make that mistake all the time. How long ago was all this?
this was in 2017.
Oh yeah, that's over.
Oh, okay, so no more appeal for that.
Mm-mm.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, R2. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you as well. I
See ya. I, she said I have spoken. I love that. I love that. All right. This is the way. See ya.
this is I see ya.
Oh, we're having some Star Wars nerd fun today. I'll tell you that. Some Star Wars nerd fun today. You know, we should have done something on May 4th. That would have been fun. We'll have to do that next time. JC is here. What do you say, JC?
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good, 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 good. So I spoke to you like a few months ago about my wife and I. We submitted a few papers, and I submitted in March of this year, at the beginning of March. And I've been calling what's called USCIS for the past weeks and weeks, seeing what's going on, because supposedly they asked me when I submitted the I-131 if I was going to have any trips coming up this year. And I said, yes, next week my wife is flying to Trinidad and Tobago. And I thought that within 3 months, at least my work authorization or my combo card would come, but it's been already about 4 months and nothing yet. So I want to know, are they holding up or what's going on? Like
So, what was
yeah.
your status before you filed?
I had DACA for 3 years, but then after that, my DACA ended like 2 years ago.
And
3 years.
were you a visa overstay or did you enter without inspection as a kid?
I came here when I was 3.
Across the border?
Yes, my mom, 1990.
And so have you ever been in deportation proceedings?
No, I actually had a advance parole. I went to Mexico. I came back legally.
That's what I wanted to know. So during the time that you had DACA advance parole, which you used for a valid entry.
Yes.
And now you're adjusting based on marriage to a U.S. citizen.
Yes, and I just found out like 2 months ago that I'm having another baby. So
Well,
we're now with two
congratulations.
babies. So now, and I said, yeah.
So how old is the current baby?
2.
So I hate to tell you this, JC, your wife can go to Trinidad and Tobago. I want you to stay here till you get your green card.
I know. I'm waiting for that. So we canceled my flight already. So I canceled my flight. But I keep calling them and asking them, and they keep telling me that, you still have 11 months to go,
Yeah.
and some.
You
Yeah.
can't count on 3 months. I mean, no, very few people are getting their work card or travel card in 3 months. There's this little sliver. I would say 10% of people get it really, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not people who had DACA and let it expire.
Mm-hmm.
So, or in other words, have a complicated immigration history. I think the people
Mm-hmm.
that are getting it quickly are people with a very clean immigration history, who haven't been subject to deportation before, who haven't had
Mm-hmm.
DACA. So I think you're going to be more in that group that you'll probably get your green card before you get your work and travel card.
Mm-hmm. Because my sister applied for hers and she got it within 3 months. But her, she never had DACA. She never had nothing. Uh, and she had a sponsor because the husband, didn't qualify the amount.
Yeah.
And she got it quickly. And she also came with me. Like we both came when we were. She came at 3 months. I came at 3 years old. So we were like 3 years difference.
Yeah, but every case is different. You never
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I keep calling them and they keep telling me, yeah. And then one person told me that they're working right now in January cases, and they're waiting until like hopefully by September they work on March cases.
I think you
But
might as well.
everybody,
I think you might as well stop calling and just wait, because you're just going to drive yourself crazy.
oh no, no, I just want to throw because my wife was very upset because she was expecting me to fly with them to Trinidad and Tobago. So
Yeah.
like, okay, because she kept bugging me about that because she got upset with them.
Yeah.
So
Just tell
that's
you
why.
talk to the attorney, and he said I'm probably not going to get it, and it won't be until later when I
Yeah,
actually get the green card.
yeah. I told them already. So we canceled the flight. I canceled my my own flight, but they are leaving already. So that's why I just wanted to know what was the status. And you think that I might get approved because I asked them to like, am I? Because my thing is still, it says it's being reviewed.
You might have an interview, you might not. We'll just have to wait and see.
Okay. And in case of anything, in case we get after 11 months and we don't get nothing, do I have to do anything else?
Yeah,
Because
we
right
can
now,
sue. Yeah, just reach out then.
okay, perfect.
Thanks,
Thank you
bud.
very much.
Have a great
All right.
Saturday. Bye,
Yes.
JC. See you, man. All right, Kim is here. Oh, Kim, are you with us? Hello, Kim. Going once, going twice. All right, bye-bye, Kim. All right, how about M. Muhammad? M. Muhammad, are you there?
Yes,
Hello.
I am here.
Go ahead.
Yep. Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm
Thank you
great. How
for
are you doing?
checking. I'm
Sure.
doing. I'm in a pharmacy. Just like to off my video. So
Yeah, you're already off. No problem.
okay. Yeah. Thank you for taking my call. I came to United States in 2014 on my F1 visa, and I graduated in 2017. And I had a post-graduation OPT in 2017 itself. Then I started with a company, let's say as a. Uh, I stayed with them 8 months. Things were not moving with them properly. Then I moved back. I moved to a different company in April 2018. Uh, from there, I had my STEM extension OPT. Then I got my H1B file in 2019 and it got approved. Then I traveled to my home country and I got it H1B stamped and everything is done. Then this year I came back uh, on a vacation. Then I had a visa stamping renew. Then I went for it,
Hold
and
on,
they
hold on,
gave me a.
hold on. I've been having a hard time overall hearing you. I don't know if it's where your microphone is to your mouth or it's very sort of garbled. So I was with you
Okay.
all the way up until you got your visa stamp, then you came back to the United States, then the next
Yes.
part is the part I couldn't hear.
Then I traveled a couple of times to my home country and back to United States. Everything was good. Then this year, in April 2023, I came on a vacation here, and I went for an H1B stamping again because it comes only for 3 years, so I have to do the renewal. So at this time, they gave me a 221G, saying my link with the company A, which is recently blacklisted in 2021, I believe.
Saying what? Saying what about company A?
Uh, It's blacklisted because
Because
of some
like for
fraud.
H1B abuse or something.
I'm not sure. I don't have any information on that. They just
Okay,
told me it's
so
linked with the
that,
company.
all that company did was employ you for OPT purposes. They never filed an H1B
Yeah,
for you.
OPT. It's like for 8 months on my post graduation OPT.
Okay, and so now you're stuck in your home country.
Yes,
What is your
from
home?
April,
What is your home
India.
country? India. Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
And when did you get 221G? Did you say April?
Yes. No. April 20th, I dropped my documents for the visa. Then they called me for the interview on June 5th, and I went for the interview, and they requested me some additional documents like my STEM OPT EAD cards and the I-20s, which I submitted to them, and they gave me a white slip with the 221G. That's all. After that, I didn't receive anything. It's this from June 5.
And so really, the only quote unquote dirt they have on you is that you worked for this company for 8 months during your initial OPT. You didn't work for them for
Yes.
MOPT. You didn't work for them for.
No. No. I got my H1B file with different company.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
what's your question for me?
So what should be my next steps? Because I have been emailing them, but I am not getting any response from the embassy.
What
Should I
is
write
going
any kind of?
what's going on with your job? Are they letting you work remotely or what's happening?
Yes. Yeah, I'm currently working from here.
Are they getting pissed that you're not in the United States?
Uh, kind of. I'm getting. It's been 3 months now. I have been working from here, so they kind of expecting me at the earliest. My manager, he's very friendly. He's very friendly, and he's coordinating with my case. But he's expecting me earliest because every day he's asking me, so it's
Yeah.
kind of little pressure.
So just for everybody listening,
Uh,
I
one
say
thing
it all
I
the
uh,
time, and this is
One thing I forgot to mention, in 2021, I had a transfer to another company and my H1B transfer got approved.
mhm.
So this is my
Yeah.
third company. Yeah,
This is
yeah,
just the State Department causing trouble. And this is what I
yes,
tell people. This is what I tell people all the time is that you can never assume. Even M. Muhammad has already gotten one visa stamp. You can't ever assume that it's safe to go back for a new stamping. You can't ever assume that you're going to be able to come right back.
yes,
He had no problem. His transfer got approved, no problem. It was only when he went back
yeah,
to those embassies, the consulates in India really caused a lot of trouble. Well, let me ask you this question. Where
yes.
in the United States is your job based?
It's in Florida, Southwest.
So I would probably file a lawsuit against the State Department in the district court in which your job is and
Okay.
try to see if they might just sit on it and say screw you, we're not going to do anything. But it seems to me they don't have much on you. All you did was work for this company. They didn't, and I would assume that you really did work there, right?
No, they like hired me as a. They will give me. It's a engineering staffing company. They kind of like hire the people. They will say we will give you some projects, we will give you training, and we will keep you on some projects, but they never gave me any project or anything. They just handed over some materials for the training, that's all. And there was no paychecks or nothing.
So technically, you were unemployed for those 8 months.
Yes,
Got it. And
kind of, yeah.
did they ask you about that at the embassy?
Yes, they asked me and I told them directly no, they didn't pay me anything. Then they told me, then why did you took so long to move? Then I told it was my first job out of college. Then I was getting used to the United States. Then it's the end of the year. There was not much hiring, but I
Mhm.
got the job early next year, which is in March. Then I joined the company in April. So that's
So
what I told them.
you were completely honest about it at the embassy when asked.
Yes,
And
yes,
on your prior visa stamp, they didn't ask you about that, right?
no, because that time it was not blacklisted.
Yeah. Well, here's
Yeah.
what I'll say. Um, I think the only chance you have of coming back is to sue them. But
Okay.
I think if you sue them, it's only a 30 or 40% chance it's going to work. They might just stick to their refusal, but this will at least give you a final decision from them. I think right now it's sort of up in the air, and if you want to take the chance to get it approved, or at least to know exactly what happened, the only way that's going to happen is if you sue them.
Okay. Is there any way we can just write a memorandum showing my innocence and I didn't do anything intentionally?
Intention doesn't matter on something like this, but more importantly, they won't listen to a memo like that. The only way to get their attention is to hit them in the mouth with a lawsuit.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're just one of thousands of people contacting that consulate saying, why am I still stuck in admin processing?
Yes. Can you share me your email ID? I can
Sure.
share my complete details so that we can review and we can move forward.
Yeah, just email and say I was on the show with Jim on Jim on Saturday at around the 20-minute mark, and then they'll find you, and here's the phone number, the email. I'll put it all at the bottom. I'll just let it run today. There's our phone number, 314-961-8200, and our email is info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Just email that. Paul will read the email on Monday, and he'll follow up. So just say, this is Paul, or say, hey, Paul, I was on the show with Jim on Saturday. Can you help me out? And he'll know what to do.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Okay, have a good day. Bye.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Have some people who are saying they've watched every episode of the show. That's pretty exciting. Let's go ahead and say hi to Anthony.
Hey,
Anthony.
can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. How you doing?
All right. I just had a quick question. I got a little antsy and I filled out some paperwork with my wife for the DS 160, and that was the wrong one. It was all submitted and everything, and I realized it was the wrong one yesterday because I got to looking up the definition of a non-immigrant versus the immigrant. Is there anything that I need to do? Is there a way to delete it, or do I need to worry about it, or just let it go?
Filed an I-130 for your spouse?
No. DS 260.
Wait.
160. Sorry, DS 160.
So there's this person that you're married to who lives in some other country, right?
Right.
And you've never filed a form for them with USCIS. You only filed online this DS 160 with the State Department.
Our I-130 got approved.
Okay.
And so I went to pay the fees, and I paid the fees, and I thought in my head, I was not thinking it through, basically. And I filed online the DS 160 instead of the other one, the affidavit support, waiting for the payment to get processed.
Did you point the DS 160 to your receipt notice on the I-130?
Yeah, everything had, yeah.
So they're going to be really confused.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about, because there wasn't a way to edit it. There wasn't a way to delete it. And I did it for her and her two daughters. And then I realized it was the wrong one. Is there something I need to do on that?
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
You must be.
Yeah, I'm in West Plains, Missouri.
Oh, West Plains. I know West Plains. That's down south, right?
Yep, right. South Central.
I've had probably 4 or 5 clients from West Plains. So she has 2 daughters. How old are they?
13 and 17.
And have you filed I-130s for them?
Yep, they're all approved the same day on July 2nd.
Okay. So you're going to have to do DS 260s for all 3 of them. You're also going to, and I would propose that you hire us to help you through the rest of the process for the 3 of them. And as part of that, we can try to notify them that this thing with the DS 160 should be ignored. Or you can just start bothering them and say, ignore that and get working on the DS 260.
That's what I was worried about.
I've never had someone do what you just said.
Oh, I'm here to teach you, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you would think the system wouldn't let you, right? Because DS 160s are fiancés. Right.
Well, the one, and it also said temporary. When I started looking up non-immigrant, I was like, oh no, I messed that up. But I don't know, and I realized it too late. So now I'm getting ready to start the affidavit support. I'm working on that. I had to run to town and get some paperwork on that. But
and then you got to do the DS 260s for each of them.
Yeah, and do the DS 260 also. So can
Yeah.
I go ahead and submit the DS 260 once I get all this, even though I have the 160 submitted?
I don't know what they'll do. I don't know what they'll do.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Have somebody shoot me an email, and we'll see how much this
Yeah.
would cost to hire you guys, and see if you
Have
guys
you
can guide me through the process.
have you called our office before?
I tried a year ago. I wasn't at the place I could hire you guys. So
Well, I can't send you an email because I don't have your email address. But if you send me an email, then we can
okay.
email you back.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you so much. I thought
Bye,
I got
buddy.
myself into the mess.
It's not unfixable. You're good.
All right.
See
Thank
ya.
you.
Well, how about that? Hopefully it won't complicate old Anthony's case too long. I don't think it will. I think it's fixable. But the problem is just who knows what track the files started to go down now because of that flaw in the system. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully Anthony gets that stuff figured out, or we can help him get that stuff figured out. Let's say hi to Adu. Adu, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, Jim. How you doing?
I'm great.
Thanks for having me.
Sure.
Yes, I have a little situation here. I have my interview coming up next month, and then we just realized that 2022 tax doesn't meet the, what do you call it, the poverty guideline.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to do. Do we have to let it go through, or should we file for how do you call it, a co-sponsor?
So walk me through their adjusted gross income on their taxes for the last 3 years.
Okay, so the last 3 years is above 50,000.
How much?
The last tax income, okay, we made more than 50,000, but because my wife or my spouse was visiting me in 2022, we couldn't make that amount.
Right. So you're probably going to need a co-sponsor. Yes.
Okay.
So, your spouse still has to be the primary sponsor. So you still have to do the affidavit of support, everything in her name. And then you need the co-sponsor to say, if Adu gets these benefits and his spouse doesn't pay it back, then I'll pay it back.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
See you, buddy. All right. DP is wondering what our email address is. I will put it in the comments just so that everybody has it. My internet's a little laggy. I don't know what's going on with that. So you're listening to the Immigration Answer Show. This is episode number 398. I will be here for the rest of the 27 minutes we have together, and then we'll do episode 399 on Monday at 4 p.m., and then we'll do the 400th episode on Tuesday. All right. Dominic is here. What do you say, Dominic? You're on mute. I can't hear you.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
I got you. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you very much.
Sure.
So, I came in with an F1 student visa.
Okay.
Yeah, and I came in last year, July.
Okay.
And then I got married to a U.S. citizen who is 18 years of age. We got married in December. She's 18 years of age.
Okay.
We got married in December, and I filed my petition on March 8th.
Are you still going to school?
No, I'm currently out of status. But I actually took a first semester, and I couldn't proceed to the second semester.
Why?
Due to financial issues.
That's bullshit, because you promised that you would have the finances to support yourself for 2 or 4 years. Why all of a sudden after 6 months did you? I mean, they're going to get really suspicious about this case.
Yes, because the thing is, I actually took the first semester. But when it was time to take the second semester, I couldn't register my courses because I had debts to settle. But now I've been able to pay out the school fees that I owed. I've been able to pay. I've actually settled the fees, but I'm currently not schooling right now.
Your audio is really garbled. Let me. I'm going to put you out of the room. I'm going to bring you back in. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay. People in the waiting room, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if my audio is okay. If someone in the waiting room could give me a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. So that okay, you can hear me. Okay. Let me try to get Dominic back. Dominic,
Jim,
are you there?
Jim, can you hear me now?
Barely. Your audio is all screwed up. Let me talk for a little bit. I'm gonna mute you. All right. So they are not going to like your case. They're not going to like the fact that 6 months after you arrived on a student visa, when you told them that you were going to be going to school full time, that instead you got married and dropped out. So they're not going to like that at all. The other big question I have is, did you know this person before you came to the United States on the student visa, or did you meet them in the United States?
I met her in the United States.
Okay. And does she live in the place where your school was?
So here's the deal. We both live in Ohio, but I'm in Finland. She's in Cincinnati. But the other thing is she passed away on May 30th. She passed away through a car accident. Before I was able to attend my interview. So I attended my interview on June 26th. June 26th, I attended my interview. She
And
passed
what happened?
away. Yeah, so interviewing officer questioned me, about the accident, how sisters, and questioned me about, my my name, my date of birth, and where we got married and when we got married and all that stuff. All that stuff of questions. So after the interview, he told me that.
Where was the interview?
It was in Cleveland, Ohio.
Do you have any kind of audio on in the background? I think that's what's causing the feed. Is it some audio other than me?
It probably might be my speaker that is messed up or something.
So have you filed an I-360?
Jim, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now, Dominic?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Did you file an I-360 after your wife passed away?
Yeah, we had the application in already. So when I got to the interview officer changed the whole application to the I-13060 for me.
Okay. So what's your question for me?
So my question is, what do you think is gonna happen right now? Do you think her death, she passing away, is gonna have an issue? And one thing is, her death was with regards to a stolen vehicle, and then they got into an accident. So she died through an accident, and then the car was, according to the news published, they said the car was a stolen vehicle. She was in with a friend who was driving, and they both died when the accident happened.
Was the friend male or female?
Female. Both same ages, 18 years old.
So just to be clear, I got you muted again. Just to be clear, let me make sure I run through everything. You arrive on an F1, you go to school for a semester. Towards the end of that semester, you marry a U.S. citizen. She's 18 years old. You file an I-360. I'm sorry. You file. Hold on. I'm going to mute you. You file an I-130 and 45, and then that's all pending, and it actually gets processed pretty quickly. And she dies, though, before the interview in a car accident. And in the car accident, she's the passenger in a stolen vehicle, which I assume you mean was allegedly stolen by her friend, who's a girl who's driving the car. And you're asking me, what do I think is going to happen with this case? Is that right? Okay. So I don't think they're going to like this case. I don't think they're going to decide this case anytime soon. I think the biggest issue to me is that you swore to the embassy you had enough money to support yourself. You're probably going to have to prove up some kind of change in financial circumstances. I think that hold on. Let me just finish, and then I'll turn on your microphone. Okay, just I think that they're not going to be in a hurry to decide it. They basically want to see what you do. Did they talk to you at all about the fact that you stopped going to school?
No, he didn't. He didn't talk to me about that. He only asked me if I violated my status, and I told him that after completing my first semester, I couldn't continue for the second semester because
What
financial difficulties.
what happened when you told him that she was dead?
Come again?
What happened when you told him that she was dead?
Yeah, I already sent in a letter to them to the office, so they already knew that she passed
Okay.
away. So even before the interview started, the officer told me he's away. My spouse
I mean,
passed away. And started the
maybe he'll feel sorry for you and just approve it all because you've had a hard time. I don't think they're going to like the case generally, but I just don't know what's going to happen. That's a crazy case. Can you call us back when you find out?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. I join the show almost every time, so I can do that.
Thanks, Dominic. Good luck, buddy.
All right, thank you very much.
Oh, that audio, man. Woo. That was brutal. That audio was brutal. All right. Lalu is here. Hello, Lalu.
Jim, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, doing awesome. The reason I'm calling is I have a 10-year green card with it's me and my son. I believe I've spoken to you before. So now me and my wife have separated, and I already started a divorce process. Now, I think I'm hoping I will be done in a couple of months. Now, what should be my next move? Shall I apply for N400? Because my green card, the initial green card was approved December 2019, and I got 10-year green card 2023. So I already have a 10-year green card. So shall I write a letter to USCIS explaining my situation, or shall I just wait and apply for N400 and get ready for the questions about my wife and stuff, why you are separated and all that?
So let's back up. When did you come to the United States?
Came in 2010.
What kind of visa?
It was B1, B2.
And your son came with you?
Me, my son, and my previous wife who passed away of breast cancer in 2012.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
So
that.
she was a student,
So you,
and I, go
so
ahead.
you guys, she came on an F1 and you guys came on
We
F2?
No, we all came together on B1, B2, and then she applied for change of status out here to join the school, and then she got approved. So from then she was an F1, and me and my son were F2. And when she passed, when like we were going through the process, and we had really good counselor, so the counselor reached out when my wife was passing away, and she told me like, please, if you want to, it's a lot of stress on you, but you should at least try to go to school so that way your legal status does not get messed up. And I did, and I got approved. And so I was an F1 after that, after 2012, and I was going to school until I met my another wife, who I'm getting divorced now.
And
And
so what was the date of your marriage to wife number two?
March 1st, 2019.
And then she applied for you and for your son for green cards.
Yes,
And was that approved after an interview?
yes.
How'd that interview
You,
go?
the interview was decent. It was okay in the beginning because I was a widow and my wife also was a widow. But then they kind of did like a stroke interview and they splitted us up. And they were really nice to me, but they were really rough on her, saying like, "Are you getting married? Are you relatives?" And like questions like, they didn't matter anything. She gave them the answers, the right answers. There was no problems with that. And after the interview went, the officer called me back and say, "Hey, we will let you know in mail in couple of weeks or just a couple of days, and then we'll go from there." So they didn't say you passed or anything. But
So
then
when did you get your green card?
December 2019. I think couple of weeks maybe after the interview.
December of 2019. Okay. And you got a 2-year green card
I got a 2-year green card in December 2019, and then I reapplied for I-751 in for me and my son both, obviously.
in
In
2021?
Yes, in 2021.
And that got approved.
It got approved, and we received a 10-year green card, me and my son.
And when was the 10-year green card approved or the 751 approved?
Uh, the green card approved 2023.
Okay.
Uh,
And so
it took 18 months to get approved.
when did you start having problems with your spouse?
Uh, I had problems with her. Like we were like I had problems with her in September. She was abusive, and there's a lot of issues with her. So she was lying a lot, and like she was not trustworthy person, which I found out.
Did somebody move out?
Hmm? Yeah,
Did
she moved out.
when
She
did that
moved
happen?
out in September 2022.
So before you got your 10-year green card.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we were not divorced, and she still bugs me saying I don't want to get divorced. I want to stay with you and all that. But I decided I gotta, I cannot stay with her anymore because of my kid and my my situation.
Okay. And you feel like you've gathered lots of good marital evidence?
Oh yeah, a ton of it. I submitted a ton of it as well, and we've done a lot of trips and vacations. Like we were family, It's not like
Mhm.
uh, it just is my unfortunate situation where I just find out the truth about her, and it was just mind-boggling. I had to call the police and all that. I have the police report and all that.
Okay. So if you got your original green card in December of 2019, which is what you said, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So that means that you can apply for naturalization without your wife in
Mhm.
December of 2024, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Before,
2021,
I
June
think
2022.
September, 90-day rule, right?
Yeah, but I don't want you to cut it too close. So I'm saying October 1st.
Uh-huh.
Um, and how old is your son?
He's turning. He has a like he's a sophomore, born in 2006, so 17 years old. He's turning 17, I believe, this September.
So
September.
he's turning 17 in September.
Yeah,
So that means he'll be 18 next year in September. So that means he's gonna hit 18 before you naturalize. So
I
he'll
have
have
to apply separate, right?
he'll have to naturalize separately. He'll have to do an
Mm.
N400, not an N600. Yep.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
what would you
So
suggest? Yeah,
that stuff about your wife saying, I want to help you and hopefully work things out, I would just forget about all that. I would get
Mhm.
started on the divorce whenever you feel like it. And
I
then,
already did.
yeah. And then, so then you're just going to file on the 5-year rule and explain everything you just told me. And then that should carry the day.
Okay, I have a question, Jim. Like, I don't have a like my lawyer is struggling to approach her like to before to start the divorce you have to be served. So
Yeah.
my lawyer is doing the publishing thing now because we cannot get hold of her. Would that be okay or would that be a problem?
Well, I mean, that depends on the laws of where you live, but most jurisdictions, if
Illinois. Yeah,
yeah, if the lawyer can demonstrate a good faith effort to serve your wife
right.
personally, that just is not being
Hmm.
successful,
Yeah,
then I think you can publish. But as far as
okay.
whether that becomes I think it just takes longer. But as far
Yeah,
as whether it becomes a legally valid
divorce. Yeah.
divorce, I think you're fine.
Okay. Hope fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes though. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right.
Thanks, Lalu. All right. See
Thank
ya.
you so much, Jim. Your
Bye, buddy.
guidance is unbelievable. Thank you so much.
See you, buddy. All right. Listen. Hey, everybody. Um, let's be nice in the comments. Um, O thinks I'm depressed. I don't know what O's talking about. I'm not depressed. I'm just tired. I've been taking care of my health. I've been exercising every day. I lost 70 pounds. I don't know what O's talking about, but I feel good. But let's all be nice. I see some fighting, some not nice words. Let's all use our nice words in the comments. Let's keep it real. All right. Magoob is here. What do you say, Magoob?
Hi, Jim. This is Mahjoub. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic.
Thank you for having me in your show. I really appreciate the help that you're giving to people who
Sure.
are struggling through this. So I'm having a question regarding me and my brother. So we have a dad who is a green card holder since 2009. And in 2017, he applied for family gathering for his kids above the age of 18. and I believe that's called F2B, if I'm correct.
You
And
are.
we are not married. Our case status is right now approved to the National Visa Center, and we originate from Sudan, and we were waiting to have a visa interview in the embassy of the U.S. in the Sudan. However, right now,
What's the priority date?
March 2017.
Okay.
Right now, I believe they are working on September 2015, if I'm correct. Last time I checked.
I think that's right.
So right now, because of the situation in Sudan, there is armed conflict. So all of my family, including my brother, they moved to Cairo. So I called them and we moved the interview office to Cairo. Uh, my dad, he has a green card, so he came to the U.S. after traveling to Cairo. And I have my brother, my little brother, and my mom. They already have a green cards for my dad. I'm working right now in the U.S. with the H-1B, and I'm also waiting for my F-2B interview. The situation right now is my brother. He is waiting in Cairo. So right now there is no anyone who is staying with him. So I would
How
like
old
to
is he?
see. He is 32,
Yep.
and he was working as a physician in Sudan. Right now, because of the situation, he's just staying there in Cairo. I would like to see if you have any recommendation to expedite the process for him, since it's kind of like a psychological and situation that's hard for him to stay there with no one.
First of all, they don't care about that, and second of all, there's no mechanism to speed it up. There's just a ton and tons of people, 2 years worth of people in line ahead of him. So there's nothing that you or your family can do to make that go faster. He just simply has to wait it out. And
I see.
and as it relates to you, you said you were waiting for your F2B interview, but I would hope that if you're still in the United States on your H1B and your visa number becomes current, that you would just file for adjustment of status and do it all here. I wouldn't want you to go overseas. You could do it all here as long as you're still in valid H1B status.
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right. Let's see if Gina's here. Gina, are you with us? Gina, are you
Yes,
there?
yes, yes. I'm here.
How you doing?
I'm here. Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yes, thank you for all you do.
Yep.
Um, quickly, briefly, um,
Hello? I think we
hello?
lost. Go ahead, Gina.
Hello? All right. So basically, we've been to you before, and you were helping us to get the. I've been married since 2019, and then I never heard anything from USCIS. So we contacting you back in 2020, 2021. Within 60 days, which it is true, we get the approval. Then what I
So
did is
we filed we
I
filed
did
a
it.
we filed a lawsuit for you
Yes,
for
and
an I
we
one
did
for an
get
I one
approval to you
for,
within 60 days.
for an I-130 away. Is that what it was?
Yes, for my husband. Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Uh, so I did everything, said everything to NVC, everything, download pictures, and then all my trip to where my husband is.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. I apologize.
It's okay.
I can slow down.
I gotcha.
Okay. So my husband went to interview, and he got approved for the visa. So the counselor told she told my husband that the visa will be ready print out by DHS within 1 to 2 weeks. And then we have been waiting, 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 waiting. We never hear anything. So my husband reached out to them and see what's up. And then find out the counselor told my husband that you did not tell me that your wife have a second divorce. My husband said that no, you never told me stuff like that. Then after that, then they asked for
You
more
mean
document.
your husband said you never asked me about that?
That's correct.
Okay.
And we sent document to them. They asked documents. We send information to them, and then after that that was back in August. That's when he's interviewed. Then after that, they tell him to book appointment to come to see them in October of last year. And to then they send him a paper with the start reason why they revoked the visa. And to then I have been contact USCIS.
What reason did
And
it say?
I'm sorry.
What reason did it say? What they mark on the piece of paper?
Let me see. Let me
Misrepresentation?
click. I'm sorry.
Misrepresentation?
Okay, let me see if I can. I don't know if I'm going losing you. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Let's see the printouts. Printouts. Information revealed during the application process has led to the U.S. Embassy returning your case to USCIS,
Oh, so
recommending
you got a
that the
notice. You got a
petition.
notice of intent to revoke from USCIS.
Yes,
Okay.
and the embassy. Sorry, the U.S. Embassy can no longer assist you. So please contact USCIS for further information. Until now, I never received anything. I have been contact USCIS. Each time I call, they always advise me there is no case has been returned. The last time.
Mhm. We lost Gina's audio. Gina, can you hear me? So we've seen this movie before. Gina, just send an email. You have my email address, Gina. Just email me. It sounds like they're playing games. I don't know what embassy this is. You might have to sue them again because it seems like they're playing games with USCIS and the State Department. But if you email me, you have my email address. We can go from there. Sorry, I can't hear you anymore. All right. Let's say hi to Kim. Kim, you there? You're on mute. There we
Hi,
go.
yes, I'm here. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm all right. So I am an F1 visa holder,
Okay.
from Trinidad and Tobago. I started my PhD in 2021,
Great.
and prior to that, I had my medical degree, right? So the PhD has become, a bit of a financial strain for me, and I wanted to apply for an change of status to an EB2, NIW based on my MD that I had prior to moving to the United States.
What kind of doctor were you?
Just a general practitioner.
Okay. And so what's the argument that it's in the national interest of the United States to not require you to go through the perm process and show that there aren't Americans who can do that job? Why should the United States skip that requirement that everybody else has for you?
Okay, so okay, all right. So that's a bit complicated. Well, I actually completed my ECFMG certification, which is
Yeah.
my US
Right.
medical licensing
Right.
examinations.
But you're making a big ask. So most people from overseas who want to get an employment-based green card, 95% of the people have to go through the employment process. In order to receive a national interest waiver, you have to show that it benefits the United States somehow to let you get a green card through employment faster than all the other international doctors in the United States. So I'm giving you a chance. What's your pitch as to why you're special and that the United States should, because this is the fundamental question in a national interest waiver case. Why should the United States sort of bend over backwards to help you and not make you follow the rules that everybody else has to have? And you don't have to answer right now. Just know that's the right question.
Okay, all right. I appreciate that. So I plan to go based off of the fact that I also have an educational background. So I was in academia for 3.5 years. I taught U.S. medical students at a university in a U.S. Medical University in Grenada. And it's actually the university that provides the most international medical graduates to the United States every year, right? And I also plan to mention the fact that I started my research in my PhD program. However, as I mentioned, it's a financial strain for me.
That doesn't help at all. National interest waiver is for people who are like total rock stars in their field. Like if you were doing some cutting edge COVID stuff back when COVID was important, or if you had the cure to cancer, to me that's national interest waiver.
Okay.
The fact that you're bringing up things like all the medical doctors that the medical school in Grenada certifies, they're going to use that against you, and they're going to say that all those other people have to get employment-based green cards. Why aren't you, or why can't you? And then as far as not finishing your studies for your PhD, they're going to say you don't even have your doctorate. Why should we give you a national interest waiver? So I hate to say it, Kim, I'm just not seeing it.
Okay. So in addition to that, I am applying for my residency, right?
Yeah.
This year. So that's another factor. And
Well,
I also
that's a fact. That's a factor as to why you need a green card, but it's not a factor as to why they should give you one. And the right argument would be maybe, if it's true, Jim, the reason it's in the national interest waiver is because the United States has a severe shortage of general practitioners, and I am a general practitioner. That's why they should do it. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that would work. I don't even do medical employment-based stuff because it's its own specialty. I have a friend named Tiffany Baldwin. If you want to reach out to her, you can. But based on my limited understanding of how medical things work, residency, green cards, all that stuff, I'm not seeing it right now.
Okay, so I have another question. So,
Okay.
so I also I'm a DV selectee for the 2024
Now we're
fiscal year,
talking. Now we're talking. Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So okay, based on circumstances, as I mentioned, it is a financial strain for me to continue in the PhD program, right? So what my main issue is, I would like to find a way to remain in status until my diversity visa number case number becomes current.
Not
And
that you'd like to, you have to.
I have to rather.
So why don't you just finish your PhD and stay on your F1?
Finances.
Well, I can't help you with that.
Okay.
I mean, this would be sort of risky, but could you switch up and go to, switch up and go to a community college, but that's a hard sale when you're working on your PhD and then all of a sudden switch. I mean, to me, for the chance to get a green card, I would figure out some way to borrow that money and stay enrolled in school for as cheaply as possible, just to bridge the time until my DV number becomes current.
Okay.
But I would focus completely on that and run far away from the NIW stuff. You've got a much cleaner path. It's just going to take a while.
Okay. I have one more question. So I was wondering if I could possibly apply for the NIW, right, and eventually switch it while it's processing. Is that a possibility because of the time it would take?
I am not a big proponent of filing borderline frivolous claims in order to keep someone's immigration status, and I don't think it actually gives you any kind of real status. So I would vote no for that plan.
So it doesn't give me any type of real.
I don't care if it does or not. I wouldn't want you to do it.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks, Kim. Because that just means it looks like you're gaming the system, and that's just going to hurt you when you're trying to get your green card.
Okay. But I also think it is in the national interest of.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Kim. She knows what she wants to do. She's not listening. So there you go. All right, everybody. We went a little bit over, and we're happy to do it. We'll be back on Monday at 4 p.m. Central. Listen, if you have a couple minutes and could leave us a 5-star review hackinglaw.com, we'd greatly appreciate it. If just 10% of the people watching this show, there's 180 people watching at the moment. Athil, I'm going to send you an email here right now. I see you in the waiting room. I will email you as soon as I end the show. I got you. And then we'll go from there. Everybody, have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday at 4. Later.